Neon lights, neon lights. Hey, dancing with my demons, do the dash, we out of sights. Run it up, secure the bag.
Hello and welcome to the SoulInsights podcast. I'm Chiron and Loxton, joined by
Kyle.
And today's main topic will be a variety of different topics that we're going to talk about.
Yep, so what is it? Unpopular opinion. So this one is based on relationships and dating and shit like that.
Be jokes, wouldn't it?
Jokes.
Founding the knowledge for them, wouldn't it?
Good.
We've just been in a lot.
Good.
But, right, so we'll do a quick update. So what have we done recently, mate? We've been in an absolute headfuckery of just madness, wasn't it? Sorted out Vegas, baby.
New album.
Promo and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, we made the video as well, didn't we?
Exactly, so we've worked towards a bit of that, haven't we?
Yeah, so hopefully that will be set to release whilst we're in Vegas. That's the main plan, really.
Yeah.
Which looks like it might be set for green light and everything, isn't it? Because I mean,
hopefully.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully try and do a video of when we're out there, but we'll chat about it later on when we get closer to it. And we're going to be shooting another music video, mate. Getting you on the camera again.
Joys. That just means editing again, doesn't it?
When was the last time you
Good.
shot a video, though, out in the trees?
No, it would have been Savage Mode, wouldn't
Savage,
it?
yeah, well, that was Halloween.
Savage Mode.
So it would have been like a year. Mad.
Yeah, it will be. Or virtually a year.
Yeah.
Like a week off being a year.
Because the people that were getting in the video, they said, oh, it's not like our
Yeah.
annual Halloween
Fucking
video.
Same people again, isn't it?
I said, oh, I didn't actually realise. But yeah, so we've got that to do as well.
Yep.
So
on to the next.
Music recommendation
I think.
is the Amazons' Wait For Me.
Oh, yes, that one.
Because I saw them in the previous week and they are absolute fire live. I would recommend seeing them if you like that sort of indie rock vibe. They bang. I think they're very underrated, personally. I think
there's that one then.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see them slapping up festivals in the summer because that's what sort of band they are, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like, they like, was it Palace?
Palace, they're quite chill. They're like the Hunter, I would say, compared.
Like
Or
who?
Don Broco as well, and the Hunter.
Ignore the mic.
You know the same, don't you? Good mic.
The what?
Shove the mic. The Hunter and Don Broco. Broco?
Oh, Don Bronco, yeah.
Bronco, yeah.
Yeah, like the Broncos, you know.
Right, TV film game,
same
mate.
shit. Right, so we've actually got all three this time. Pick one first.
Game. Let's go.
Oh, okay. So we've switched things up. It is a mobile app.
Great.
I'm pretty sure you
Raid
know.
Shadow Legends?
No. Madfoot 23.
What?
You know,
card
pack game.
Yeah.
Pack game.
Fair enough.
So FIFA pack game, basically. It's literally just come out on iOS because the app store for Apple was being jokes, wasn't it? It's been out on Android for like weeks.
Are you going to put
Apple will be
the same amount of
banned,
hours in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just I can't sit at work and play it hours on end now.
Oh, you
Just
got
I
another
actually have
American
to do
trip, mate.
work.
Just sit there spamming it on the flight.
Yeah, exactly.
10.5 hours playtime, isn't it?
Sorted.
Mad.
Right, TV. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You ever watched that?
Rings a bell, actually.
You know, I think he's called Charlie Day.
No.
Fist Fight film. Yeah.
Is it?
The dude, not Ice Cube. It is Ice Cube, isn't it? Not him, the other dude.
I don't know.
I will show you a picture quickly, and you will know.
What was that fight film that you watched?
Him.
Oh, okay. Horrible Bosses, dude.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But I think he wrote it along with Rob McElhenney. I think that's how you say his name.
Right.
You know, Ryan Reynolds' little buddy
Oh, okay.
that he bought the Wrexham with.
Yeah.
So I think they wrote it together. I might be wrong, but fine.
Oh, right.
But yeah, so decent show. Like somebody at work told me about it, and yeah, I ended up watching.
I keep getting told at the minute it's House of the Dragon as well. Did you recommend that?
I've recommended that a while ago. I haven't actually watched it. Yeah.
People saying it's
I
better
need
than Game
to,
of
but-
Thrones. Apparently it bangs.
Yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't
because
watch
they're
it,
going off the end of Game of Thrones, which was shit. Anyway, right. Film recommendation: Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Right.
Do you know what that
I
is?
thought you were going to say another film. To be fair.
What?
You recently watched The Scargy.
Oh no, I won't say a Serbian film.
No, good film.
Good
nice
film.
family-friendly film, isn't it?
Yeah, make sure you sat there with your
No,
parents
don't
and your
watch that.
children watching that. Yeah, so Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping. You know what that is?
No.
Andy Samberg.
Oh,
Lonely
right.
Island.
Is that sort of comedy, I guess?
Yeah, it's like about a band. I don't actually know if it's the Lonely Island people because I'm not entirely sure who they are exactly. But it's about like the Style Boys, so they're a band in there, and then it follows their way of being it, and
It wouldn't surprise me if it was
like
them, though, like the same people, because they got the same sort of vibe
yeah,
as Andy Samberg.
I'm fairly certain it is, but I wouldn't say 100% sure. But yeah, anyway, there you go. So I watched that recently, and that was cool.
Oh, right.
Because Andy Samberg's insane.
Yeah.
I love him, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Line, isn't it?
Page from the book.
Right, so this is the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows by John Koenig, and I went with chapter 6, Roll the Bones, connecting the dots of a wide open universe, and the word is borance.
Borance.
Boorance. So it's close.
I just missed an O.
Yeah. An unassuming feature of our daily lives that will eventually come off as the bizarre relic of a bygone era that will make us look back in shock that we ever thought it was normal to bless each other's sneezes, drive cars by hand, swim in chlorinated pools, keep animals in zoos, or feel clean using little else but toilet paper. Things that we never think to question because that's just what people did back then. It'd be mad, wouldn't it?
Not gonna lie, every time you explain it, it just goes straight in one ear and out the other. It's like I can't pay attention to it.
So it's like what we class as normal now. It's like, you know that video that we did, what's not illegal but would look super weird, like running with your arms straight.
Yeah.
Because it's not what people do. And it's kind of, it's like that. So at the minute, it's like keeping animals in zoos, driving cars by hand. Tesla, at the minute, it's what's normal at the minute. You'll look at like 100 years and be like, what the
So there's... Let's take this onto a context of one of my recommendations. There's a Lonely Island song called Incredible Thoughts, and it's kind of like that. It's like, what if this was the case, and what if this was the case? I know yours is kind of like, this used to happen in the past, but it doesn't now. Yeah. It's weird to look back on, but that's like the thing. Like, one of the things they say is, if a fish could sing. Like, imagine it, or if a house cat was addicted to cocaine.
Exactly.
Like, it's something that could plausibly happen, isn't it? Like, other stuff happens. Why couldn't that kind of thing?
There's one that we should see. We should just walk around in public with a glass of water in our hand. See how weird it looks, doesn't it?
We'll
like,
just see if anybody comments.
Yeah. But that's just being different. But like that makes sense, where it's just like what you do day to day now is normal, but like you look at it and it's like, what the hell was we even doing?
So you look back on history and you're like, oh, all of this bloody like witch hunts and like beheadings and stuff like that. It was normal. That was what happens, and now it's like, nah, that doesn't happen, does it?
Yeah, it would just be purge night in the future, wouldn't it? Look back and people liked each other back then. But
like, it'd be like, if you want to identify as a witch, you can identify as a witch. Like, that's fine now, isn't it? But yeah, you try and chop somebody's head off now, and it'd be a bit of uproar, wouldn't there? I think so.
So there we go.
Anyway,
basically.
Yeah. Right. So let's fly into the main topic, shall we?
Yeah, you start, mate.
So
we're gonna
unpopular opinions. I was trying to think of the title. Then.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinions, relationship edition. So that is where we're at this time. So if I kick things off, then
we're both single at the minute, though, aren't we? So we're gonna do it from an outside-in sort of view.
So this makes sense. It's frustrating for... let me just say in the first place, this isn't aimed at anybody. This isn't us trying to be sexist or anything like that. It's just some of these will be, because it's our point of view, kind of aimed towards girls probably.
Yeah.
But obviously it does happen both ways, so we can't like...
We'll just be open with it.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't want backlash from something being taken out of context, even though it probably will. Right, so... sometimes your girl is wrong and you have to lie and say she's right. So no matter what the fucking situation, you have to agree with what they say, even if you know full well that they're wrong, because it's like, I'm just going to get more of a ball ache if I try and prove myself right.
You could have it...
Even though I know I'm right. It's like, just agree and shut up kind of thing. And
otherwise it will get referenced a bit later on down the line anyway, like that little nudge or something, where it's just like, oh, remember this.
But then we can flip it and we can be like, well, you were wrong on this argument 4 years ago, so shut up.
Yeah, because that'd be good for you remembering pointless stuff. You did the exact like time and date and stuff. And
there is a lot of pointless shit from the past that I can remember actually, so I'm not going to bring stuff up. But
I'll probably just be oblivious to what they said initially, so it's kind of just like, I don't know.
Maybe exactly. You'd probably just agree because you'd be like, I've forgotten what my point was in the first place. I'm just going to be like, okay, yeah, you're right, whatever.
It's like 700 other things have happened since then. So.
But in that sense, it can happen the other way, so... A guy will be like, no, I'm right, shut up kind of thing. And the girl will be like, oh, fine, yeah, whatever. Yeah, although it doesn't usually happen that way, does it? Because the girl always think they're right.
Oh, damn.
Exactly. This is why I said don't take stuff out of context to start with, because this is our opinions on it and our experiences perhaps as well for some things. So I've never experienced a man being wrong to me because I haven't been in a relationship with a man. So,
but could you do it from a friend point of view? So a friend's just bullshitting, and you're just kind of going with it.
Yes,
if you're trying to prove them wrong, you're just like, I'm not going to get anywhere here. So you may as well just go with
what's
that
the point
crap.
in making an argument? I don't care that much.
Yeah.
Just fine, whatever. Just shake it off and kind of carry on, isn't that?
So we'll keep it in relationships. So it ain't exclusive until you ask. So this person said, I'm not your girlfriend until you ask me. Good. Need it in writing, do you?
I mean, it is kind of like that because you hear like people in the big city, they'll be dating like 5 different people at once.
Yeah.
And it's not until you kind of like you establish your proper connection and you kind of like you talk about where you actually are
but
as
you need
two
to
people.
ask, though. Couldn't you just say like, "Oh, do you want to advance this into something?"
Yeah, I
you
suppose.
wouldn't just say, "Can you?"
Yeah, but it not necessarily. I think that's taking it
It's very
too
school-like, isn't
literal.
it?
No, that's taking it too literal from you saying that. Like saying, "Oh, you have to be like, do you want to be my girlfriend?" It's like, oh, like you talk about what your relationship is. You'd be like, "Oh, are we? Are we exclusive? Are we together?"
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like, where do we stand as a couple of people? Like,
put them on the same page, isn't it?
are we like seeing other people? Blah 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 whatever.
That makes sense. I thought like ask
it does,
as in like you just
no.
pin them
So
down
it makes sense, but it's like, do you really need to? Yeah, do you really need to ask in that sense?
You can't move forward until you hear that
But
question. It's like proposing, though.
You don't know where you stand until you find out, do you?
Yeah.
So if you don't ask, you're never gonna know, and then you're gonna get your own heart messed up because you thought you were one thing when you actually weren't, and they've gone off and done something else because you weren't actually exclusive or you weren't fucking couple.
Yeah, I personally would say like. You would just say what you would like to do, isn't it? You wouldn't just say, "Oh, do you want to?" Like you'd just be like, "Oh, I personally feel like this. I'd like to take it further," and then see what reaction they get. I guess, unless you're too intense and with it. But I guess after then, you would have seen each other for a fair bit into your time, though. You're not just going after like 5 minutes.
Not like countryside vibes.
Oh, do you want to have a kid?
So, hi, I'm so and so. Hi, I'm so and so. Do you want to get married and have a kid?
No, we used to go to school together. You were like the year below, weren't you? Oh, do you want to start a family?
Yeah.
So fucking true, honestly.
No, if you want to do that. But yeah, not our thing.
Jokes in there.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is again aimed towards from a male's perspective. So the girl should pay the food bill from time to time as well as the guy. Split the check too. You're both independent adults and together make a team. So you go on a first date, and I feel like majority of the time it's expected that the man pays. Whereas my mindset on that is who asked for the date.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever asked should be willing to pay the bill.
Damn.
As a dude, I think you'd end up turning around saying like, I'll pay anyway, and then you might compromise and split anyway. But then it falls into the thing of you do it the first time and it constantly happens.
But then someone
keeps on going and going, and it'd constantly be the responsibility of that person to then pay constantly.
I was having a chat with someone about this, and there's women in America, I think, there's a certain like show that follows them. They'll get free meals off of guys by taking them on first dates, so the guy will pay, and that's how they eat. Imagine.
Every night,
it's
different
savage,
day. Yeah, exactly.
Just so you get a free meal out of them.
That's jokes.
Bit savage, isn't it? But that makes sense because it's like, I guess first date, I'd like if you were to make the impression sort of thing, and you'd want to just break the ice, I guess, over like if you're having something.
Yeah, but then saying that,
if they want to split it, then you wouldn't just say, "Oh," you kind of just you'd have the offer there, sort of thing, isn't it? Like you'd just be in the polite.
But you wouldn't be whoever like. Oh no, I'm definitely not paying for it. Like,
no,
I don't care that I asked you.
No,
I'm not paying for it.
No.
I'm the, in our sense, I'm the girl. I shouldn't have to pay for it. You should be paying it because you're the man.
It comes to the end of the meal. So how would you react now? Then it's like, oh, it's been a nice meal.
You both just sat there, and you just got the bill in front of you. And you're just like,
she's silent.
So
she's silent, and
where do
you're
we
getting
stand?
it. What are you gonna say? They're both silent. You've got the bill in front of you. What would be the first thing you'd say?
Thanks for dinner.
Walk off. She hasn't mentioned yet that she wants to split the bill, or like I'll pay for it. She hasn't said anything. What would you say? I'll get it if.
I suppose. Well, you just grab the thing and you just look at it and then you get your card out
No,
or
you
your cash
just
out, don't you?
Chuck a stack on the table and walk off. Don't even
Yes.
say why. Just
Yeah.
get your insurance.
No, you pay. You wait until the money comes back, and this hasn't really got anything to do with the girl, but and then when you see your £7.15 change on the table, you pick up the £7 and you leave the 15p.
Oh my god! If you work in hospitality, you'd
No,
love that,
definitely
wouldn't
not.
You would love that.
Yeah.
Absolute insult.
I'm gonna mention him because this really pissed me off, to be honest. Ben, when we were in the airport.
Oh yeah, left everything,
And-
didn't he?
No, it's not that. Oh, the waitress was like, "Oh, go and get your change a second." At that point, you'd be like, "Oh no, you keep the change. That's fine."
Oh yeah, you got the
Like, okay, yeah, it was like £3 or something like that. Like, okay, yeah, it's not like a lot, but we didn't spend much. So, but he waited until the money came back, which took fucking ages for her to get.
just for him to leave all of it.
And then he left it all on the table anyway. Like, why not just say, yeah, keep the change? Because then it saves so much fucking headache and we could have left straight away, couldn't we?
Oh, it's jokes, isn't it?
Oh,
Oh,
banter.
no.
Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, who should pay for the bill? Yeah. Leave a comment.
That's hard, isn't it? Right, okay. Your partner isn't responsible for your happiness.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
What did she say? Relying on your partner to make you happy will eventually ruin your relationship. They are not meant to be the source of your happiness in your life. You yourself are.
Yeah, so...
They could contribute
agree
towards
with
it,
all of
isn't
these,
it?
to be honest.
But
yeah,
it's
but
not
you
like
need
you're
you
not
need to be in the
owning-
right mindset. You need to be happy in the first place, and then they can just add, yeah, as you say, contribute to it, add to the happiness, or then you'd both be happy, so you can actually enjoy each other's company, and you can enjoy what you've got, sort of thing.
Especially if it's not our loneliness. I guess at this time of year, it's going to be cuffing season now, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
summer's over. So if you're going to be with someone just because you're going to feel lonely, that's tragic. I personally think.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. I don't know. I
No,
would
that
just
is,
strongly
so
say
I've,
that
I've
is
seen
tragic.
that around as well. So
Don't do that.
I can't remember what it was. It was something about like dating to do certain things, and then it's like, oh yeah, but if you're dating to settle down, if you're dating because you want marriage, then you're going to settle for somebody that you don't necessarily want to, like you've just said,
Yeah.
because you want the marriage kind of thing. You're not willing to go through all the different people, but then the whole point of dating for fun is a bit weird as well. It's like,
We'll come on to that point though. We'll do random dating, the dating phase of it. But like for that one, just like if you're in a relationship, you can't just be in it purely just because they wouldn't be the sole reason why you're happy. Surely,
No,
not. They might be the
exactly. You
reason
need
why
other
you've got through a
things,
lot
like-
of hard times. Definitely, but
yeah, but there's going to be other stuff in your life that kind of like brings you joy, isn't there? Or
Yeah.
they, as you say, they
Well,
can
yourself,
contribute towards
isn't
it.
it? Like you say,
Yeah.
you got to just love yourself. I think so. You can't just be doing it all. And I think then they said someone when they were splitting up, they said, "Oh, no one else will take me, so I may as well stay with them." And it's just
Yeah.
a bit like, really.
So, right, next. Cheating isn't a mistake, it's a choice. But people make bad choices, which in retrospect are mistakes. So it comes down to the whole question of you cheat and you're fucked, basically. Like, that's it. And
Yeah, it should
like,
be.
relationship over.
It should be, yeah.
In what sense can you go back to that person thinking everything will be fine? They go off and do it again.
I always thought it's quite
And
sad
then
when
you're
they go back, isn't
surprised.
it? Yeah,
Yeah,
when-
but then it's like, oh, I'm so surprised that you did that
Yeah.
a second time. It's like, they did it the first time. Why are you surprised they'd done it again?
yeah.
Kind of thing. Like,
There must be something though that they see in them that they like though.
I know, but that's when you need to go and dive deep into your mind and be like, I may want this person, but
You can't
in
change
the
them like
first
that.
sense, do they want me? And do I want to go through this again? Okay, it might not happen again, but there's a possibility that it will happen again. It's going to fuck me up even more. Is it worth it? Sort of thing. But yeah, so when people are like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cheat. It's like, well, you did, didn't you? Because how can you not mean
Yeah.
to do something?
Finding something in someone else, even if
What
it's just
did
a
you do?
quick
Fucking
thing.
slip and fall into the fanny?
What would you say is classed as cheating? Then?
Oh, I don't know. It depends how
An
you...
intimate kiss. A peck's not. I don't really bother, is it?
It depends what you depends what you call a peck, like a peck on the cheek.
Like a random. Yeah. See if you're in a girl.
Okay, so
that's not too
my
bad.
thought: if you fuck somebody, you're cheating.
Well, that's a bit mad,
If you kiss,
in something that
if you kiss
intimacy,
lip to
isn't it?
lip, let's say, then it's like, what the fuck? Unless you go down the road of like, oh, it's acting or theatre or whatever, and then it's like,
Oh yeah,
it's
that's fine. Yeah.
scripted sort of thing. But then you've got the whole point of if you're talking to somebody else, going to the point where you're like, you are trying to, not necessarily trying to make it happen, but you're going through that conversation to be like, oh yeah, okay, you look nice and da-di-da-di-da. Then it's like, it's not exactly cheating,
not too bad.
but it's like sus, isn't it? It's like, you lose a little bit of trust there because you're like, well, you could do it. I know you're not, but it's there. Like, the connection's there with somebody else. Like, you're trying. It seems like you're trying to do it. When people are like, oh yeah, you hugged them, like, oh, it's over, kind of thing. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, kind of thing.
I think I'll be quite chill about
or talk
all of
like
it,
you're talking to somebody of a different gender, and you're like, so it doesn't matter at the end of the day, does it? Like, anybody can be friends with anybody, can't they?
Yeah,
as long as you don't take it too far.
Like you said, you could go up to a point of a kiss, I reckon, but as long as it's not like an intimate, sort of meaningful, sort of, there's something there, isn't it? That's a bit mad, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
That's where it's like it could open doors to just absolute madness. But
yeah.
I think, probably a similar page on that, isn't it? That's what I'd say cheating is. What about OnlyFans? Would you, if you had a girlfriend who did that, would you be a bit, nah, not a fan of that? Not a fan of OnlyFans.
I'm not an only fan of that.
My girl could be a porn star for it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like I've said to you before, you get put in that situation and your mind would change.
Well, should be taking
could change
12 inches all day, coming back to 2, like.
Yeah, exactly.
Disappointment.
Yeah, but it's the emotional connectivity.
Listen to a few podcasts when they get them on. It's kind of like they get a bit bored of the industry style, so you want like just a average Joe, isn't it, as the main other partner, which makes sense. But
so I wouldn't like if they did it and I got with them, then it's like, okay, yeah, fair enough, because I knew what you did before I got into it. But then it's like, oh, you kind of like, somebody's like, I want to start doing this. It's like, yeah, but why?
What about OnlyFans content with the girl? Couples content.
Banter.
That'd be jokes, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, all right.
But yeah,
well,
no.
Can't say that.
Anyway.
Well, speaking of that, we do not posting relationship stuff on social media. Unpopular opinion? I say it's your business, isn't it? I see you said, what does this person say? Just because I don't post mine doesn't mean I haven't got one. My relationship is for not for social media.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Who gives a fuck?
Post everything.
Like,
but then you get we have some girls, as soon as they post the one picture of the boyfriend, they lose all the followers. That's savage, isn't it? Remember that? Have you seen someone that's like that? Like, they post all of themselves, they look fire. As soon as one with the bloke in it lost all the followers. Just because they lost their little fantasy in their minds.
Yeah, exactly. Even though full well you're not going to be with that person anyway.
Well, Margot just got married. I'm not unfollowing her, is it?
Exactly. You still got hope, haven't you? All hope is not lost.
But no, I would say yes. You don't need to post it, is it? No, you don't have
There's
to
no
broadcast
point. No,
every
exactly.
single action.
If you don't want to, you don't want to.
No, I wouldn't say.
No.
I mean, quite cool. I think it's like what Ed Sheeran has. Like, you have a missus, he's in the limelight, but he doesn't. The missus just chills doing her own thing. Like,
yeah, and essentially, if you didn't follow them, you wouldn't know they even existed, would you? Like,
I think that's pretty sweet, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably just a recipe for disaster when you're both in the limelight, because I think everyone's watching what everyone's doing, and then it turns into like a Love Island couple when it's just like everyone's following your movement.
The slightest thing looks like suspicious or something, and you're just like, everybody jumps on
and
it and starts making stuff up. Yeah, exactly.
And that would just, it's too much drama and hassle, I think.
Right. 1 second. Right. Your boyfriend will find other women beautiful, and it's okay. You're not the only beautiful woman in the world. The important thing is, as much as you're a beautiful woman, he chose to stay with you for reasons other than beauty. So this whole thing of when girls try and manipulate people, guys, and it might work the other way as well, saying, oh, do you find this person attractive? And they expect you to say no.
Oh, right.
And when you say no, they're like, oh, you're lying though, aren't you? And then you say, yeah, okay, yeah, fine, fuck it. Yes, I find them attractive. And then there's like a massive argument then, oh, why do you think she's attractive? It's like, yeah, but you've kind of asked
I
me
don't
to
think
say
I'd be able
that.
to go, it'd be like that, judge a new character like that.
So it's like, you can be like, oh, that person looks nice, don't they? And not get backlash for it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Same with like, I feel like I've had it in the past where the girl will be like, oh, this guy's hot. I moan, and it's like nothing. Like, oh, my opinion doesn't matter in that sense. But then I say, oh, that girl's fit, isn't she? Or, oh, she's pretty or whatever. And it'll be a massive uproar. It's like, oh, why do you think she's... Yes.
Oh, right.
Well, not exactly that, like, harshly, but it's like you can feel it's there, you can see it's there, and you just, like... As a guy, I feel like I just... You don't necessarily make the comments, and if they say like, oh, he's got a good body, like, oh, look at him, oh, he's fit, and he da-di-da-di-da, then you just kind of like, oh yeah, fuck it, like, I couldn't give a shit if you think that, to be honest. So yeah, whatever. Because at the end of the day, you're with me, so
yeah,
or you're with whoever. Like,
there was a video I saw the other day. I'm not sure if because I've stayed single for so long, I think it's just normal. But they say if you're liking other girls' pictures, it's disrespectful if you're seeing someone else. How is it disrespectful? Mine's if they looked really good in the picture. I
saw something on TikTok then in that.
Yeah, that's what I saw, I think.
Would you be offended if he, so okay, let's just use the boyfriend girlfriend. If the boyfriend liked other girls' bikini pictures, and it's like, yeah, he can't do that. And then the dude goes, okay, do you post bikini pictures?
Oh,
and she goes, yeah, of course I do.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, other guys are doing that to you. And she's like, well, it's different. It's like, yeah, but why is it different?
How is it different?
How is he not allowed to like somebody else's photo, but a load of other guys are allowed to like your photo when you've got a boyfriend?
But I don't know what a like it on a picture means, though. It's not like I'm sliding the DMs and eventually slide into the bed. You know what I mean? I know my own sort of intentions. So like, you look good in the picture, I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to exactly just shove my dick in a DM box to you, am I? I'm just like, you look cool there.
Like, you see some random person
with this girl
you never even knew existed, like on a model page, and it's like, oh, they look alright, don't they? Oh, like that picture or whatever. And it's like, I don't even know who the fuck it is. So how am I supposed to do anything with that person?
I'd feel, I mean, it's only we're in mid-20s, so we've still got loads of life left to live. Well, where you go, isn't it? Well, until like 33, but
yeah. So most likely some life left.
So I've chatted to, say if you did like runway models, I feel like some of the combos that I spoke to them died in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, because
I've spoken to other girls when you go traveling. They're maybe not as pretty, but still like but they're sexy.
You get the connection.
They're just more up for having a good time and stuff, and I find that a lot more. I'm gonna chill with them a lot more because I feel like that's more of my character.
So you can't get the best of both worlds, can you?
So it's kind of like, you know, obviously looks will be short term anyway. Because it's like if you don't love yourself like in that sort of way, you're just going to have someone just be a little runner boy just to her makeup palette.
From our experience, not necessarily everybody, because there might be some people out there that are the best of both worlds.
Yeah, there might be like Megan Fox. I think she'd probably be quite fire, and she looks fire, and I imagine she'd be quite jokes, I think.
So that's the whole point of, but you don't know her. She could be a massive turd.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not saying she is.
No.
I don't know her.
No, that's Russ MGK, isn't it?
So, yeah. What?
Just casually.
Hi, Machine Gun Kelly. What's Megan Fox like? Is she a good chat or is she just a fuck?
No, but I can see. Yeah, it's different, isn't it? I don't know. I would personally say if you could like the pictures, it'd be fine as long as your intentions are true, anyway, isn't it? Because you just like, well, if you're with the person, it's kind of like you just respect the fact that they look fire.
Yeah, exactly. Right, go on then. I think it's you next. So
you could do something. This would be a quick one then.
Yeah,
checking out each other's text is bad. Going through each other's phone is not healthy.
No, it's not. It's fucked.
So that's the similar as checking social media, isn't it? You follow, like, seeing their activity and stuff. It's a bit savage.
If you don't trust them enough to not leave their phone alone, then should you be with them? So actually,
anyone, to be honest,
situation where they can do whatever they want with my phone, but if I pick up their phone, I'm not allowed to do anything. That kind of thing. Like my phone, I'll put it there, and if somebody picks it up, it's like, fucking do whatever you want with it. I don't really care. Like, maybe don't like message people or something like that, but have a look at what you want. And then it's if somebody else had their phone there and I pick it up, it's like, you can't do that. It's like, you've just gone through my phone. Well, why can't I go through yours?
I won't even bother.
So what, have you got something to hide? Exactly, like,
I can't be asked.
Who gives a shit at the end of the day? Like, if you trust them enough, you don't have to worry, do you? Like,
Okay, talking about phones. If you went on a date with someone,
your phone up or phone down thing.
Yeah, phone on the table or not.
So,
social, yes. Date, no. I would say
it depends on the sense. Like, have you got pockets?
clutch bag for the girl, isn't it?
Yeah, so
If
where
she's
would
in
the
a dress.
bag be? Would the bag be on the table? It'd kind of have to be, wouldn't it?
So
You wouldn't
that
stick
or
it
in
on the floor, would you? A guy, you'd essentially leave it in your pocket, wouldn't you?
Mm.
So the whole thing of, okay, your phone's on the table, face up or face down. Does it make a difference?
I wouldn't even think to put it face up or I'll just put it on the table, whether it's face
Yeah.
down or up. I wouldn't even. Yeah, that wouldn't cross my mind. To be
So
fair, mate.
people say if you put your phone face down, you're hiding something.
Oh right, I never have my phone
It's
on
like,
the table. It's
okay,
always in my
no,
pocket. Or,
I've put my phone face down so that if it happens to go off, I can't see it. It's not a distraction.
right.
If it's face up, then everybody can read everything. And like, a football score comes through, and I'm like,
It's more interesting.
I've got to look at that, haven't I? Like, if it's face down, it just buzzes, then you're like, yeah, okay, I'll leave it.
That's
Or
still
maybe
irritating
they'll
though,
be
isn't
like,
it?
do you want to check your phone a second? It's like, okay. Yeah, I think you mute it or something anyway, wouldn't
I
you?
just
But
wouldn't even have it.
like, say you've got a face down and it's fucking vibrating like shit. You're like, somebody's
Someone
calling
called,
me.
yeah.
Okay, then maybe it's like, okay, I need to answer this a sec. Hang on.
But I don't think I would though. I'd dedicate the time to the date. I wouldn't even have
Yeah, exactly,
my phone
'cause that's
there.
the whole point you've
That's what
been
I'm here
there,
to
isn't
talk
it?
to you.
So,
yeah, like
yeah.
the phone can wait. Like I'll just answer
Yeah.
the call after the date.
So yeah, like you said, at the end of the day, you just get your phone, you just chuck it on the table.
Just frisbee.
That's
it
what you
across
do,
the
isn't
fucking
it?
room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives a shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So your significant other doesn't have to like every person you like, nor every person that you dislike. I can't bother to read the rest of it.
That's a bit
So
mad.
you don't
It's a
have.
bit awkward, then. No?
So you don't have to be friends with your partner's friends. You don't have to be all like, oh yeah, we get along, don't we? Like, yeah.
Well, imagine that awkward feeling when you get invited out and she thinks you like them and you absolutely
Yeah.
just can't stand
So
them.
that's why you can say unpopular opinion, because it's like they expect you to like them. It's like you can say, I don't like them. Like, we've got nothing in common, blah, 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 blah. It might be, I'll come out with you, I'll tolerate them, kind of thing. Like, yeah, we can small talk and all that shit. So I'm happy to be there, like, with you, for you, whatever. But I don't have to like them. Like, why do I have to get along with them at the end of the day?
Have you ever double dated before? I've done that. It's quite
No.
fun, actually. So, like, I was in a situation where the girlfriend was friends with the
I
girl.
don't think I have.
And then she took her boyfriend out. I met him at a festival, so it was kind of like first impression there. But we went quite well. It was quite a good evening, to be fair. So
Yeah, you
it
can,
is like
but
a
it's
long
like-
shot, isn't
yeah.
it? How good are you with people though? Anyway, I'd probably talk to anyone anyway, like
Yeah,
on
I
a friendly level, isn't it? You're not just gonna be quiet and
I wouldn't
judge
like.
'em.
I might be a bit quieter, but I wouldn't be like. I wouldn't
Hostile.
hate on them, sort of
Yeah.
thing. Like, yeah, hostile. Yeah. You just kind of you get on with it. Like, you're there with them. I've had it with people in the past, not like on dates or anything. Just like friends and friends and friends and
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. If that makes any sense. Friends of friends. And it's like, I don't particularly like. I don't get along with this person necessarily. Like, I don't interact with them very much, but I'll just like they're there, so I'll learn to get along with them for a little bit. But I don't have to be like, oh yeah, I'm best buddies
Yeah.
with this person now.
it's that
kind of thing.
awkward situation because if they're like a strong couple, you're gonna see that guy a few
Yeah,
times.
so
isn't
it's
it?
a bit different
You're gonna have
then,
to
yeah.
tolerate their
Yeah.
company some point if that's a strong relationship anyway, and
Yeah.
you've got strong. It's just one of those.
Yeah, and
things.
then works the same way. Like, I absolutely hate this person. You have to hate them too. It's like, well, why?
Yeah. Your
I'm
experience
not
with them is
bothered by
chill,
that
isn't it?
person.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
okay,
I've had
I
that.
don't have to interact with them or anything. Like, it's not like I know them anyway. But I'm not going to say I hate
I've
them
had that loads of
because
times,
they're
to
just
be
there.
honest.
They're just existing, aren't they? So
Yeah, like I say, you have a good experience with that person. They're known as an absolute dickhead to some people, but it's like, to me, they're nice. So it's like, I personally don't mind them. But I
Yeah,
can see
exactly.
why you hate them because they act differently to you compared to me, isn't
Yeah.
it? So it's kind of like, I'm just on the fence with that sort of one. It's a bit
Yeah.
hard, isn't it? Yeah. You
Right,
got
go
any
on, one
bangers,
more.
man? One more. Oh, should I do the big one for you then?
Go on then.
Have I got it here? If you can't handle distance, it ain't real.
Yeah.
If you can't do distance, you're not really down for that person. I mean, you've had quite a few long distance relationships. haven't
Yeah.
you?
So
What have you done?
should you have to do distance? Like, that's. I don't know if that's necessarily, because I saw that earlier as well. It's necessarily geared towards long distance, or it's like, I want to go out.
Or distance.
Are you all right at home when you're home for like a day
Okay.
or whatever?
Mhm.
It goes in different senses. Like,
Yeah, I see what I mean.
if you can do a long distance relationship, doesn't mean to say if you were together, like if you lived at the same place, you'd
Don't
be any
text
good for
like
each
a week,
other.
isn't it? I'd be that way, isn't it?
No,
That'd
but
be sick.
Say you're from England and your girlfriend lives in America, yeah?
Yeah.
You might get on absolutely like fire. Like,
Yeah.
everything might be great, and then all of a sudden you get put, those two people would get put would live together. They'd be from the same area and they wouldn't get along, or like you get put together, like you move in together or something, and it's like, oh, this is completely different. Like it was better online kind of thing rather than actually in person.
So when you to meet your girlfriends when you were traveling long distance, was it purely as like a hookup, or was it actually like?
No, it was actually like relationship, like yeah, like a proper like
meet the family,
decent,
sort of vibe.
actually like. Yeah, proper, you can say.
But
in that
how
sense,
often would
like,
you text each other then when you weren't visiting? Would it be a daily like message anyway?
Yeah, it'd be most of the time, essentially. Like, if you lived with somebody, you'd be talking to them constantly, wouldn't you? So it's kind of like that. It's just through the phone, essentially. Like, you'd bat flying around. You're essentially just constantly talking to each other.
I like what you said with the distance with that one then. I think you could probably do it without talking to each other for like 3 days or something. That's absolutely fine. You're both absolutely comfortable with what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty
and
cool.
Then it's like, oh, somebody's gone off doing something. Like they've gone on, let's just literally say on holiday. It's like, okay, yeah, they're just doing themselves. Like,
yeah. So then I'll probably get told then you clearly don't really care much enough. That's why you wouldn't be in one. Because I'm too chill, I think.
Yeah.
Because I could go on holiday and not message anyone. I don't need to tell you that I'm safe or something. I could be like.
It's like you say half the time. You literally message me and that's it, and
yeah.
And that's like, oh, do you want to go on PlayStation or something like, or do you want to go out and film this on the weekend or something? And so it's like,
I don't feel the need to just drop a message just to say how your day is. I don't know.
It's pointless, isn't it?
If I cared about someone a lot, maybe, because you kind of like you care for what they are doing. But I just find it fucking sure, mate. I'm like, unless you're like front cover of something or you've achieved some madness, I'm like, that's sick. Like you've put in a lot of work for that. But otherwise, it's just like, what you have for dinner?
So what was the point in that question?
I don't. Yeah, just I don't know. I know. I think I'm so lost in the ways of single life, mate. I just find it admin.
Yeah. It? So
unless it's quite cool, you see some relationships and actually they bang though. So
yeah, it just depends on the person, doesn't it? It depends on how the people get on, doesn't it? So
yeah, I don't know, mate. I said, like you said in the previous one, I think the 20s is more just for me,
shits and giggles.
Just, running with it and just seeing what happens. You're just not on the forefront of your mind.
Yeah.
Is it? And like when you're talking to someone, there's another popular opinion. It's not your intention to marry that person. You're just gonna see what's going. Because someone said
it might happen. Like you might say be looking for that, but it's like if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen, does it? Like okay, you get into a relationship thinking, okay, yeah, this could last.
But is that down to experience that you've been let down a lot of times that you just assume that's going to be the case anyway?
Yeah,
isn't it? I think every girl you talk to is, oh, you're just gonna run back to your ex, aren't you? Pointless. Just a little rebound. I'll just be used as that in the future. Like, that's what you get used for.
Yeah, exactly. And on that note,
wait, one more. Oh. For dating, you say it's a waste of time. That's what you mentioned, wasn't it, earlier? When you're just casual dating, I'm talking, wasn't it? It's just a complete waste of time because what's it amounting to at the end of the day?
What's it amounting to in life?
Good times. Good memories.
Yeah, when it's like I'm talking to this person, it's like, okay, great. Like,
say if you went traveling to a location with that partner and you had a really bad breakup, is that going to taint your memory of that whole location? Say a whole country. Like say if you're about to travel to like, I don't know.
Possibly.
Croatia. And like you went like a summer holiday and you had a really bad breakup, you wouldn't want to go back to Croatia again because it's brought back. That's sad though, isn't it? Cause
it's
like,
sad, but
cool
it's like it can happen. Yeah, I can understand why it happened, how it can happen.
So that's why you wouldn't do dating as well, because you probably could just ruin your experience with certain things in the future. It could actually be insane, isn't it? Because you had a bad time with something, with someone.
Then it's fucked it all,
exactly. That's hard, that.
Yeah.
We done?
Right, yeah.
That was just a few, so we'll probably do like a few more. Definitely do more unpopular opinions. We'll turn that into like a series, isn't it? But we could do like relationships with other people, because everyone's got different perspectives.
Yeah, get somebody else on and see what they say.
With people, wouldn't it? Yeah, I mean, the fact that me and you are quite similar-minded, single and everything, isn't it? I think we're coming from the same direction.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like we're firing shots at anyone. It's more just like, you can see the perks of a relationship. You've been in a lot more, and then you can see the perks of single life as well, though. I feel like you can achieve a lot more single at the minute. Like,
depends what you want in our life, doesn't it?
A lot of your focus is on you, isn't it? So it's down to you to make something of you, I guess. So
right, music. New music.
So the new music, what the hell? That dropped is Tiger, Booty Dancer, the 1975 Being Funny in a Foreign Language, Diggity, Stay Inside, Whit Lowry, If You Don't Like the Story, Write Your Own, Stormzy, Hide and Seek, Central C, One Up, Tom Walker, The Best Is Yet to Come, Blink-182, Edging, NSG Gigs, Niash, Current and Savings, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Return of the Dream Canteen, Michael Bublé Higher Deluxe Edition, Inhaler, Love Will Get You There, The Hunter, Apologies, Architects, A New Moral Low Ground, and Lil Baby, It's Only Me. I think the biggest release there was the 1975. Are you a fan of them? They've been massive recently.
They are what they are, aren't they?
And Stormzy announced a new album that's coming out soon as well. I remember seeing that recently. It's weird that like Blink-182's like coming back together, isn't it? They're like old school.
Yeah, weird releases.
So yeah,
Dappy, new song coming.
And Daffy, yeah, the new thing. So
although that'll probably be on next week's.
I mean, we're seeing them as just before we go Vegas, isn't it? We're seeing N-Dub's reunion. I don't get. Got to whack out the little little string hat.
Dappy hat, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there'd be jokes to see that.
Yeah.
But it's what it is.
Right. Joke or fact?
Fact.
Okay. This is kind of like a double thing. Sharks lay the biggest eggs in the world. Did you even know a shark lays eggs?
Yeah, because how else is going to be a shark just give birth? Like just swim out of their arsehole or something?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't say I've ever thought of that.
But the biggest eggs, though. What about a whale, though? What's that do? They give birth then, do they? They don't have
They must do, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So in that sense, they don't lay an egg. It doesn't seem right. It might not be. It might just be some random shit. Yeah, exactly. Know. But yeah.
But then like dolphins lay eggs. Must do.
I don't know. Just squeeze a dolphin out of their arse, don't they?
I've never actually thought about that.
No, exactly.
What the hell? Okay, yeah.
Right, joke. How did Pinocchio find out he was made of wood?
Why did Pinocchio figure out he was made of wood? Why?
His right hand caught on fire.
Say. For fuck's sake.
A little bit of friction.
I was trying to think of like morning wood joke or something like that.
Oh, no.
But right hand caught fire, fair enough.
Oh dear.
We're all little Pinocchios really, aren't we?
Exactly, yeah.
Big little right, okay.
Right,
we're done, yeah, we're summing that up.
Huh?
We're summing this up, are we?
Summing what up?
This whole episode.
Banter.
Are we done?
Yep.
Right, yeah, we're summing that up.
So, socials.
Right, so find us on all streaming platforms on the Soul Insights podcast. Please leave us a rating and review if you so desire. Socials, Twitter, the SI Index, TikTok, Soul Insights Index, Instagram, Soul Insights Index, and YouTube.
Soul Insights.
Boom. But like we said, what's the next episode? What are we chatting about? Do you know what we're talking about?
We'll leave that to the fates of existence.
Fair enough.
Because we might know, but as long as they come out on schedule, then we'd be alright.
So you might get another person on, so we'll find out in the next episode.
See what happens.
And get ready for the next episode. Okay. Smoke weed every day. Okay. Right, yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo. Oh, couple.
Oh, couple.